Well, hi guys, Paul from PABrewNews. Back yet again with a beer review. This one we got the Deschutes Black Butte 30th Anniversary Imperial Porter. It's got a Bob Ross hat. Oh yeah. Saw it, had to get it. Just the way it is. Crush that brim, baby. Can't have straight brims. Can't do it. Anyway, that I picked up a Hocus Pocus bottle opener, just because that's how I roll. I was over at the Spirit Halloween store in Buckhorn. Alright, let's open this thing up and see what we got, and I'll read you a little bit about it. Bottle opener works. Pre-cut the wax, just let you know. Listen to some Messiah. So there you go. Poured out nice, a lot of ruby hues coming through the pour. Put that right about there. Okay, up to the light. And again, a nice soft streaming carbonation. You can kind of see through the head, so definitely carbonation. Amber, ruby hues, but most of it's pitch black actually, or at least a really muted brown. Not a lot, even to the strong light. Not too much light getting through this. I've had this in various forms over the years, different anniversaries, and of course I've had it at the Deschutes Brew House in Portland, Oregon, which is beautiful. I think I had like a 08, 09 there, and the 18, or the 28 I had there. So this one for the 30th birthday reserve, because they always make different ones, it would be a porter brewed with Dutch cocoa, 100% aged in oak barrels. Now, that's not specifying any kind of liqueur, because usually they do specify bourbon, red wine, the whole deal. This is just oak barrels, apparently. So a very chocolatey brew. This one's coming at 13.6% alcohol by volume, so extremely sessionable. Picked this up for $28.75, but of course I didn't know that. I just grabbed it off the shelves. And I got it from the Beer Port outside of Pittsburgh, in the Lawrenceville area. The real Pittsburgh, man. There you go. Check that out. Okay, back to the beer in of itself. Of course, alcohol legs sticking from the 13.676 alcohol by volume. And honestly, retaining a head quite well for such a high ABV brew. Sometimes they have a hard time doing that. What up, Earth? Okay, so sorry, Bob Ross and Hocus Pocus, big ass brew, Messiah, things are going. Okay, aroma sound. Cherries, lots of cherries and raisins coming off this. Peppery caramel. It almost smells bourbon barrel aged. It doesn't specify that. It only says oak barrels. But cherries, raisins, peppery, spicy bourbon. Not bourbon, caramel. But it reminds me of bourbon. Peppery, spicy caramel, cherries, raisins, chocolate, baker's chocolate, char, smoke, hint of vanilla. Smells great. Let's get into it. Cheers. Right in the tum-tum. Right there, you can feel it. Okay. After the acclimation to the brew, drinks really well. Very super smooth. It's a bit thin. Were you ready for that? Because it just happened. It's on the low side of a full body and then tapering the high side of a medium body. Just tickling the balls of the low side of a full body. But it's super drinkable. It adds to the drinkability for sure. The soft carbonation kind of going through there, working the beer around your palate. Char, smoke, vanilla, hints of those, roasted toasty, hint of coffee, all that's kind of going on in the back end. Up front, you're getting a lot of that caramel, peppery burp, caramel, peppery caramel, because there's no bourbon in this as far as I know. It's just oak, but it reminds me of that a lot. With that ethanol infusible alcohols working away, bringing that dark fruit to the foreground, cherries and raisins, mixing it with that bright peppery caramel that I'm getting out of that, it's very reminiscent of bourbon. Then you throw that oak char in there with a bit of vanilla. It just gives it all that nuance of a bourbon barrel aged beer, even though it's 100% only oak aged as far as I know. But it has a lot of stuff going on. It's going to age like an absolute champ. With this, it's such a hit of those ethanols, alcohols, but they're really, really nice, and they're bringing such an amazing array of dark fruits to the soil. Even star anise coming out now. Cherries, raisins, star anise, those nuances. I wouldn't be surprised if it was if they would put this in like a Shiraz or a Pinot Noir barrels. That wouldn't surprise me a bit. Mixed in with some bourbon barrels, that wouldn't surprise me a bit. Even sour mash wouldn't surprise me at all. There's a lot of things going on in this beer. Now, if it's 100% only oak barrel aged, wow, it is bringing a lot with very little added. Especially only the added of the Dutch chocolate. You got baker's chocolate, milk chocolate for sure. You don't get that kind of nice dark chocolate savoriness, but what that doesn't give, it adds with all that star anise and the char and the smoke and the roasty and the vanilla. I'd have to say that even though I can't remember all the ABVs, this is probably one of the biggest ABVs. The 13.6 is probably one of the biggest ABVs I've seen on this beer. But I can't, don't quote me on that, I guess is what I should say. But the Black Butte, not but, even though good black ass for some good stuff, never mind. 30th birthday reserve, porter brewed with Dutch cocoa, 100% aged in oak barrels. From the Deschutes Brewing Company. I believe they're from out of Bend, Oregon, but I was over at their brew house in Portland, Oregon, and it was just, oh man, that is a beautiful place. A lot of wood carving and stuff in there. It's really nice. It says bottle on 6/14/18, so it's still very fresh, but definitely that ethanol alcohol is not hindering the beer at all. Can't remember which one I've had. I know the passed on the, you passed on the 30th? It's tasting pretty damn good. I've had, like I said, I had like an 8 and a 9 those years, and then I had the 6, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what I mean? Like, 26, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I mean, I've had them pretty consistently. They're good. I mean, they're just a good beer. Now if I would, I don't know though, because I'm an Abyss fan. I don't know about you, especially Earth. I'm an Abyss fan. If I see then 08 or Mirror Mirror, I'm a big Mirror Mirror fan. I'm a big Abyss fan. If I had to choose, I don't know which one I would pick. If I only had to pick one, like if I was in a store and I saw all three lined up in a row, I don't know. And the older Mirror Mirror, the better Mirror Mirror. But yeah, Abyss. Like if you just want an absolutely fantastic beer for sure, I would just pick Abyss. Now if you're going Mirror Mirror and you have a couple vintages on it, like a couple years on it, I'd probably pick Mirror Mirror because it's one of my favorite beers. And actually, now that I'm just sucking Deschutes' dick, I might as well say Not the Stoic is my absolute favorite barrel-aged quad. Without a shadow of a doubt. Favorite barrel-aged quad. So if you haven't had the Abyss, Mirror Mirror, or Not the Stoic, I would definitely encourage you to do so. I can't remember if I've actually had the Jubal. And I can't remember if I did. I was very impressed by the Jubal. But the other ones, wow. Wow. So, anyway, but back to this beer, the Black Butte. The 30th anniversary is bringing a lot to the table for sure. It is really hitting you in the face with a lot of amazing things. And as far as I know, they're pretty good at labeling what kind of bourbon or liqueur or wine that they use. So if they're only using oak barrel aged and that's it, it is bringing it. These malts are just bringing it. Absolutely bringing it. The ethanol alcohols are bringing so much dark fruit. I think best rum and cognac, vanilla. See, I've never had that. I've never had the rum barrel Abyss or the cognac barrel Abyss, and there's I never had a chance to have those. When I was in Ohio. I was driving through Ohio, and my friend took me to a place that had that. And as soon as we got there, all the shelves were empty. Like, you could see the labels where they were all gone. And they only wanted like maybe $19.99 for them. I'm like, what the fuck? I would have bought all of them. It's like in PA, they price gouge. Like, I mean, I don't know about other places, but in PA, when certain places get certain beers, they price gouge. There's no way in hell they don't price gouge, because you could watch a beer state to state, Commonwealth, you know, we're Commonwealth, but state to state, and usually it'll hit right on the 24 mark, 24, 24, 24, like, or like, you know, of course in California it might be 19, and then it'll get somewhat higher as it works towards the other coast, and then it'll be 24, 24, 24, and you get it in PA and it's 32. Like, what the fuck, guys? I know you're price gouging, you know what I mean? It's just the way the world works, I guess, because of licensing and the limitations of what we can get in this Commonwealth, because unfortunately we're still very archaic. We are moving up in the world, though. It's a lot different than it was 5 or 6 years ago, but it's still pretty archaic. This has a lot of spicy pepperiness coming on, mixing with all those fusel alcohols, ethanol alcohols, bringing dark fruit in spades, which I'm loving. Now, I will say this, baby palates out there, the 13.6 is apparent because it's apparently bringing all those dark fruits, and there's a little heat kind of building through here. So it's not the easiest drinking experience in the world, but because of that ethanol alcohol and those fusels and all those beautiful oils and proteins working away, you're getting an amazing array of dark fruits. What's up, Hillbilly Wine? You're getting an amazing array of dark fruits that would not normally be there without the addition of some sort of fruit addition or bourbon barrel age or wine barrel age. If this is strictly oak age, all of this that I'm tasting is coming from only the malts and the alcohol, and that is sick, because again, raisins, cherries, even a sherry component is coming out of this, star anise, vanilla, all those beautiful things. Vanilla's not a fruit, but I figured I'd say it anyway. Wow, that's a big beer. It's a big beer. So if this is only 100%, and correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone knows this or not, if this is only 100% oak aged, no addition of liqueurs at all, well done, Deschutes. Well fucking done, because this is an amazing dark fruit bomb, and it's only gonna get savorier. I don't think savorier is a word, because I just don't think so. So I'm gonna say more savory. We're gonna use that instead. It's going to get more and more and more and more savory as the years progress. So I would love to drink this edition when they release their 40th birthday. You know what I mean? Wow. My problem is I'm having a hard time hanging on to beers lately. Just the way it is. Not sure what I'm going to do tonight. Hangouts possible if anyone wants to hang out. Part of me was thinking about doing another painting with PABrewNews, but I realized I ran out of paper towels, and that sounds a little silly, but when you paint, you need some fucking paper towels. It's just the way it is. So he apparently Earth is drinking either Coors or Bud Light because he's only drinking water. So, you know, stay hydrated. That's always important. Let me top this up. It's one of these beers, and I kind of want my reviews to go a little bit peatery and go a little bit longer, like expand on some things, because and some people don't like that, but you know, some people, they don't like me and I don't like them, and that's why I have this to stab them with. But well, actually, you know, you kind of twist all the meat out of their, you know, the joints and stuff with this. But this beer is so bombastic, I guess, because, you know, I like that word. This beer is so bombastic and in your face that as soon as you drink it and get acclimated to it, the notes are so prevalent. Like, everything about this beer is very prevalent. It's not nuanced. It will become more nuancey and savory and like dark and intriguing as it ages. But right now, it's so in your face, and you can pick and pinpoint so many different characteristics so quickly that it could be a 5-minute review. You know what I mean? I could do that. I could blah, 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 done. But I feel that sometimes you're cheating your audience, or you're cheating the beer, or you know what I mean? Just take your time, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Now, I don't have like what my buddy Eric from B&E Beer Reviews with all the guns and stuff, and he, you know, talks about like all the slides and this and the bump stocks being bullshit, being banned, and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, he's doing that for like 5 hours, and then he's drinking a beer while he's doing that. I'm really just drinking a beer. So it's hard to really stretch it out so much, but I don't mind the 20-minute review as long as it's worth it. And of course, you know, I'm talking about my experience at Deschutes, the other beers they brew, the whole thing like that, you know. So I don't mind a 20-minute review, and honestly, if I can get some very poor choice people, like, you know, that people just make bad choices, like Earth, that watches the whole fucking thing, hey, whatever, good for you. You know, I'm sorry that your life is this bad, but at the same time, you know, cheers. Wow. And you know what? Let me just say this head retention, it's a very creamy head, and it actually adds a little bit to that body and creaminess. And it actually bumps it up to that, as again, that low side of a full body. A lighthouse Riesling. I love a good Riesling. Yeah, you fully support the show. Yes, you do, Earth. And actually, I like going off on Rieslings really quick. Now, I don't know if that was a German-style Riesling, because that semi-sweet, pretty sweet Rieslings, they can be a little bit much. He's drinking a Riesling right now, so I'll just say it. Sometimes like Gewürztraminiers and Rieslings, two different German styles, that kind of Western German style, they can get a little much, a little sweet at times, where it's hard to really just enjoy them. That's why if they ever do, you do find them a little bit too sweet or whatever, try Alsatian versions of those. It's the Alsatian is a portion of France that borders Germany. Try Alsatian whites, like Alsatian Rieslings, excuse me, Alsatian Pinot Gris, Alsatian Gewürztraminiers. Give those varieties a go, because they're much more clean, dry, and they just clean the palate off nice, and you can drink them a lot easier than some of the German, more semi-sweet, sweet variants too. So give that a go and try that out. Anyway, back to this beer. It's damn fucking fine. Okay, so it's a Mosel beer. Okay, semi-sweet Mosel. Yeah, try out some Alsatian whites, because I think you'd be pretty pleased with them. Alsatian whites like Hugel's and stuff like that, the companies, I mean, they're some of my go-to white beers. Not beers, wines, white wines. The Alsatians are always kind of my go-to standard for white wines, so they don't get a little bit too clawing, a little bit too, because either the Gewürztraminiers, I mean, I love Gewürztraminiers, but sometimes the German variants and stuff can be a little bit too lingering, a little bit too sweet, and it kind of hides the beer under this kind of like layer of sweetness, and plus it gives you fucking really bad hangovers. So I always like to go Gewürztraminiers and Rieslings into the Alsatian areas, and it kind of dries the palate out. It kind of gives you a very the acidity, like it's a rapier-like acidity that kind of cleans the palate and is like refreshing, instead of like, whoa, this is gonna be, it's a dessert, but at the same time it's gonna be a dessert that you're gonna regret later. I don't know, I like both. I do like a nice like a spiced, when they put like some spices in, like a Vossel. I've had some Vossel versions of Rieslings that are quite nice. And of course you have the typical red wine Vossels and stuff like that, where they spice up the red wines too. So I've had some really nice ones, like apple cidery kind of Rieslings that are really nice. But yeah, I kind of prefer the drier Rieslings and the drier Gewürztraminiers and stuff from the Alsatian part. So give that a go. Let me know what you think. I don't know. For me, it works. Hugel's a very good company. They make a nice blend. Oh, I have a friend from Hungary, and I want to travel, because a lot of Hungarian wines I've heard are very, very nice. And actually I would like to travel with him over to Hungary and just kind of roam the Carpathians and have a nice time drinking some wine and evoking Satan and werewolves. So that'd be great. Yeah. And if you ever want to try to do a dessert wine, make sure that the wine that you're drinking is sweeter than the actual dessert you're eating. It sounds a little weird and sickening, but it works. Because if you try one that's drier than the dessert you're eating, it just kind of goes in your palate. It doesn't work right. Just saying. Just putting that out there. But I don't know anything, so I just drink beer. Anyway, back to this beer after the wine fucking onslaught that we just had. By the way, Oregon, known for their Pinot Noir, so definitely check out some Oregonian Pinot Noir. Yeah. What's up? Backwoods, baby. It's here and doing this shit. Port's is fucking fantastic. My favorite commercial port, which is really funny because it almost sounds like a venereal disease, is cockburns. I got a case of the cockburns, and that just sounds bad, but no, you're talking about port. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, that's pretty rough. I gotta go over here, and I'm wearing pants and everything, so there's no dick shots today, so we're good. And I'm doing a full flip. I'm not just restarting. I'm doing a full flip. This is happening right now. You just got a full flip. Messiah. There you go. Wow. Well, we have it, folks. All the beer is now in the glass. We have it. Thank you, Hillbilly, for bringing up that very interesting wine topic. I do like, I was a wine lover before I was a beer lover, so I have many of the book of wine in my possession. So I definitely like to expand on wines now and again, but we rarely get the chance to, so thanks a lot for that. There still does seem to be a little bit of a divide between the wine world and the beer world. It just, even in this day. Wow. Dude, just buy a bunch of Founders Porter and Fuller's Porter and just drink those, and then you'll be okay. I didn't get the whole thing on that one. Hillbilly, beer makes me, and then it kind of stopped. So it doesn't screw up my screen because I have a smartphone. So unfortunately, it's you either get it or you miss it. But this beer is fantastic. Yeah. I like the burn though. I like the ethanol alcohol burn. Oh, yeah, obviously, we drink everything because we're alcoholics. I mean, that's how that works. I like the alcohol burn on this. I like the fact that it lets you know it's 13.6% alcohol by volume, which I've had more beers that gives you less burn. The McKellar Black, for it was 19.1. It gave you no burn at all. Didn't give you any burn at all, I think is the correct English. Didn't give you any burn at all, which is insane for 19.1. There's char and stuff like that. I mean, it gives you a nice real char and robustness, but at the same time, 19.1, no burn. Wow. This gives you a little bit of burn. Again, if you know that it's not aged in wine or bourbon or anything like that, you are really surprised and happy about all the dark fruit. I mean, there's so much dark fruit in this. It's just, wow. Usually, and then the thing is with the ethanol alcohols, it usually takes a little bit of time for those dark fruits to start progressing themselves. So if this is only aged in oak barrels and it's 13.6%, and that's why it's giving you those dark fruits, this is a really well-made beer. And they must have sat on this in that barrel for some time before they actually released it. So definitely. There are, by the way, there are other vintages of this beer out there available on the market. So, I mean, please, by any means, Deschutes, we'll go through the list again because I know Backwoods just showed up. The Mirror the Abyss is definitely my recommended. If you can find some old mirror, pick it up. It'd be amazing. You have the Deschutes Abyss. You have the Black Butte, and then you have not the Stoic. They're a barrel-aged quad, which is my favorite barrel-aged quad ever. So definitely give them a go. And then you also have the Jubal Ale. Wow, got a little bit of snot right there. A Jubal Ale, and I've never actually. I don't know if I've had it, honestly. I've had so many Deschutes beers, and I was at the Deschutes Brewery in Portland, had some beers there. I like the fact that on cast they had the Bachelor's Bitter, and I just became a bachelor, so I was like, oh yeah, that was good. But trying to think if I had the, I don't know, I can't remember if I had the Jubal or not. It's not Jubilation, I think it's Jubal Ale. And if I did have it, I don't really think I was that, kind of impressed by it, I guess you'd say. But the other four are so fucking amazing. Like, I don't know, except for like Firestone Walker and stuff like that, I don't know if someone like Deschutes is around that releases consistently amazing barrel-aged beers again and again and again and again, because Deschutes seems to nail it on the head every freaking time. Every time. The blend of raisins, cherries, star anise, and vanilla in this beer. Wow. And it's fresh. That's the thing that kind of blows my mind. The fact that this is a fresh beer. A 13.6 fresh beer, and it's not overclawing with alcohol and just char and all these different things. This is an amazing beer. Now, it's not going to get, I'll just say it now because we've been almost like a half an hour now, and I'm sure that most people don't give a fuck what I'm saying. It's not going to get a 10 out of 10. The problem is, with that one, is I've had Taurus the Tyrant Bourbon Barrel Aged, the triple oatmeal Russian Imperial style, and that was a 10 out of 10 out of fucking 10, with a 10 on it, with another 10. It was basically an 11 out of 10. This one is going to get a 9.5. Oh, no, yeah, thank you. I don't deserve those 600 subs. I don't know how the hell they got there, but I'm very happy they're there, and if I can get 600 more, holy shit. But thank you. For me, this is going to get a 9.5 out of 10. It is fantastic. Oh, Matt, how you doing? Oh, yeah? Oh, if I can get some, if I can get some funky Buddha stuff and that, the other stuff, I'll check out the rest of your comment. Unfortunately, I don't know why comments kind of pop up and then disappear that quick. But smartphones, it's the joy of smartphones. But cheers to you, Matt. Thanks for stopping in. I've never had any funky Buddha stuff. I just can't get them where I am. It's the joy of living where I live. You get amazing vistas and lots of waterfalls and beautiful this and hunting and all that stuff, and you get shit beer. That's just the way it is. But I'll take that over that. I don't mind traveling for beer. Actually, I need to make another run up to New York at some point in time, because you can get some pretty cool stuff up in New York over in Joe's area. Joe, the Beer Patrol. So if you're not, I'm pretty sure everybody. Oh yeah, from sunny Florida. I actually would. Now this sounds fucking funny, man. I'm a big Bigfoot guy. I like Bigfoot. So I'd love to get some of that Swamp Ape. Or I think it's pretty sure it's Swamp Ape IPA. I think that's what it's called. I don't know the brewery, but it's Swamp Ape. I want at least a bottle, like an empty bottle. It's fine. But yeah, if anybody can find me some Swamp Ape, I totally want some. Even if it's a fucking empty bottle, I want some. I'm from Pennsylvania, the PA of the Brew News. I live in Deschutes, where all the woods are. No people, lots of woods. One other thing is, too, I was going to say about the link to this video. It's a anniversary ale. And I'm not celebrating an anniversary or anything like that going on, but if I'm going to open this one, it's going to be worth it. That's what I'm saying. So, wow. Wow. Great beer. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 for the Deschutes 30th Anniversary Imperial Porter brewed with Dutch cocoa and 100% aged in oak barrels. There you go. Well, I'm pretty sure I've taken up far too much of your time. Unless someone tells me to keep talking, I'll keep talking. Other than that, I think it's pretty much time for me to wrap it up. I actually really like doing these live streams. I know they might not be the clearest, and there might be jump cuts now and again because of internet problems, but I like doing these live streams. I like doing live streams a lot better than regular old, talk about the beer, hit the stop button. I don't know. Live streams just are, like, for instance, with Hillbilly coming in with talk about Rieslings. I got a chance to talk about wine. Ta-da! I like live streams. This is the way it is. Well, night, Hillbilly, and night, everyone else. Fall for PABrewNews. Cheers. Listen to some Messiah. Drinking some Black Butte 30th Anniversary Imperial Porter brewed with Dutch cocoa and 100% aged in oak barrels. Cheers. Bye-bye. Oh, watch for the finger. There it is. Yeah.